Good afternoon, friends. Today, on this occasion, we're bringing you a video to talk about the benefits of using molasses on our plants. Take a look at these little trees I have here in pots. Check out these lemon trees and pay close attention to how many lemons they're producing. But that's not all. Notice how new flowers are still blooming at the top. This is really important because it means the tree hasn't stopped. It's still active, still producing, while the fruit keeps growing. And that's exactly what we want when we have a fruit tree at home. Now come over here. I want to show you these other lemon trees. They're young trees, they're not big or very old, and yet they're still producing. This is something worth pointing out because there are a lot of people who have trees for 4 or 5 years and still can't get them to bear fruit. And it's not that the tree can't do it, it's just that a lot of times it doesn't have the right conditions to make it happen. Now check this out. Look at these avocados. They're still small trees, still developing, but they're flowering and at the same time starting to form fruit. This isn't typical for young trees. Normally, it takes a tree much longer to start producing. No, this isn't some kind of miracle. This isn't something that happens overnight, but it is the result of correctly applying certain stimuli that help the tree get going. And this is where molasses comes here. Molasses is a byproduct of sugarcane. It's a natural product, very easy to find, inexpensive, and you can get it pretty much anywhere, whether at agricultural stores, supermarkets, or even online. It's a simple product, but it has a really powerful effect when used correctly. It contains natural sugars as well as minerals like iron, magnesium, and potassium. But the most important thing isn't just what it contains, but what it does to the system. Because when we apply molasses, we're not feeding the plant directly, we're feeding the soil. And this completely changes the outcome. In the soil, there are beneficial microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and a whole world of life we can't see, but that's essential for the plant's development. It's these microorganisms that transform nutrients into forms the plant can absorb. If that system isn't active, the plant just doesn't respond the same way. It might grow, sure, but it won't produce, it won't flower properly, or it'll drop its flowers too soon. But when that system is activated, everything changes. The plant starts to develop more roots, improves its ability to absorb water, makes better use of nutrients, and begins to produce more shoots, more leaves, more flowers, and as a result, more fruit. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Take another look at these lemon trees. Look at the color of the leaves. That deep green means the plant is well nourished. And if you notice, it has developing fruit and new flowers at the same time. That means the tree is producing continuously. Now, let's see how to use molasses correctly, because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. We're going to do it step by step in a simple way. Imagine we're going to prepare a mix with about 2.5 gallons of water. We take a bucket or a jug and fill it with that amount of water. Once we have the water ready, now we grab the molasses. It can be regular water, that's no problem. We take the molasses. Molasses is a thick, dense liquid, but it dissolves perfectly if you mix it well. The dosage is very simple, about 1 tablespoon of molasses for every gallon of water. So if you're working, for example, with a gallon of water, you're simply going to add 1 tablespoon of molasses. You can measure this with a syringe, a measuring cup, or even a spoon. Now it's very important how you're mixing. Don't pour it all in at once. Add it little by little. Add a bit, stir well, add some more, and keep mixing. This is important because molasses is thick and we want it to be completely mixed into the water. Stir for a few seconds until you see it's well dissolved, and then the mixture will be ready. If you have a different amount of water, just adjust accordingly. For example, if you're using a sprayer that holds about 4 gallons, you just add 4 tablespoons of molasses. And if you're only making 1 gallon, then 1 tablespoon is enough. If the plant is weaker, you can increase the dose a bit and use about 2 tablespoons per gallon of water, but only occasionally. Now let's move on to the application. First, we apply it as a foliar spray, making sure to cover the tops and undersides of the leaves, the stems, the flowers, and even the fruits. But we don't stop there. We also apply it to the soil at the base of the tree, soaking that area well, because that's where the microorganisms are, and that's where the molasses really does its job. By feeding that soil life, we improve the structure, water retention, and nutrient availability. And that translates into stronger, more balanced, and more productive plants. Now let's talk about something very important: when to apply it. Ideally, you should do it early in the morning or late in the afternoon. Why? Because this way you avoid the hottest hours and allow the plant to absorb the application better without stress. If you apply it in full sun, part of the effect is lost, and you can also stress the plant. So always try to do it during the cooler hours. The recommended frequency is once a week. That's enough to start seeing results. If the plant is in poor condition, you can do it twice a week, leaving a few days between applications. Another important point that a lot of people ask about is whether molasses attracts ants. The answer is no, because when it's properly diluted, it doesn't leave sticky residue and doesn't cause that kind of problem. You can use this on pretty much any type of plant. Fruit trees like the ones you see here, potted plants, ornamental plants, and even orchids. It works especially well when we want to boost production, but also when we're looking for healthier, more balanced plants. And there's something I want to make clear. This isn't magic. It's not something that's going to transform your tree overnight, but it is a tool that, when used properly, can make a huge difference, especially for trees that are stuck, not producing, or losing their flowers. Take another look at these avocados. They're small, but they're active, they're flowering, and starting to produce. And that's exactly what we're aiming for: to activate the tree, give it the right conditions, and support its process. So if you have trees that aren't bearing fruit or haven't produced in years, try adding molasses to your care routine and see how they respond. Now, before we wrap up, I want to answer some questions that come up a lot when we talk about molasses, because this is where many people go wrong and don't get the results they're hoping for. The first one: does molasses attract ants or pests? The answer is no. As long as it's well diluted, like I explained, it doesn't leave any sticky residue on the leaves or on the ground. The plant absorbs it, and the microorganisms use it up very quickly. Problems only show up when it's applied incorrectly, too concentrated or undiluted. That's when you might run into issues, but if you use it properly, you won't have that problem. Second question: can I use molasses on any type of plant? Yes, pretty much on all of them. You can use it on fruit trees like these lemon or avocado trees, on ornamental plants, in pots, even on more delicate plants like orchids. The only thing you need to keep in mind is the dosage. For more sensitive plants, you can start with a lower dose and adjust as needed. But in general, it works really well for all types of plants because it acts on the soil, not directly on the plant. Third question: how long does it take to see the effects? This is important to understand. It's not immediate. Usually, within the first week, you'll notice changes in the color of the leaves and in the plant's vigor. Starting from the second or third week, you'll begin to see more shoots and increased activity, and that's when you start to notice flowers and improved production. It's a gradual process, and the more consistent you are, the better results you'll get. And the fourth question, which is very important: can I overdo the dosage? Yes, and this is where you need to be careful. More doesn't mean better. If you go overboard, you can saturate the soil and throw off the microbiology, and then the effect can be the opposite of what you're aiming for. So if you enjoyed this video I shared today, leave me a like, share it with someone who loves plants or fruit trees as much as you do, because it could really help them a lot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you can keep watching content like this. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.